What is good, y'all? What is good? It is time for a long overdue video. I'm going to be talking about my 2024 musical favorites. And you want to know what's crazy about this is that I've actually had this list since pretty much the beginning of the year. And I kind of wanted to hold off on recording this because I've been wanting to try and do like some actual reviews for these albums because I knew I needed to catch up on a bunch of albums, but I've had my list kind of ready kind of towards the beginning of the year, and I'm waiting till the end of the year to release this before I go into my end of 2025 favorites. So am I dumb? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and do this so we can start fresh for 2026. So let's talk about 2024. My favorite Topeka local rap album. My favorite Topeka local rap album is going to be Work in Process by Braille Watson. Now he does way more than just rap on this. He does sing on it too, but the production to add, like the whole thing is all through is done like he does on pretty much every project, and it's amazing the way he dives deep into kind of unpacking expectations and traumas that he's kind of gone through, and talking about the new phases in his relationship as well, and his relationship to his family, and his continued relationship with God. It is something that is amazing, and I will forever love Braille. He just makes dope music in general, and Nami will always be a play if it comes up on my rotation. Like if I got my thing on shuffle, dude, if Nami comes on, we're listening to it because that junk is I love that junk. Song's amazing. An album is too, but can't recommend it enough. Now for my Tampa local album is going to end up being Thank You for Robin by Gats. Gats just always has a phenomenal output, and I loved what he brought with that project. It had a lot of really great jams on that mug too, so can't recommend that one enough. So please check out more Gats. Okay, cool. Now my favorite independent collaboration is Blog Era is Dead by XV and Mike Summers. This project was super fun. It was definitely kind of like that blast from the past kind of feel. It's great hearing XV again. And then him with Michael Seven Summers is always ill. And then for him to even bring other people back that were big in the Blog Era on this project was just it was so wonderful to be able to enjoy again. Moving on to my favorite mainstream collaboration album, that one is gonna be Missionary with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre pairing up again for a full project, and this project was fun. There definitely was some songs on there that I definitely thought were maybe a little too poppy, but overall it was a really fun listen for that one as well. So that one was my favorite mainstream collabo album. Moving into my independent R&B album, my favorite independent R&B album was Dearly Loved, El Carino. So talking about the deluxe version of Dearly Loved by Russell. Love what he was able to bring. This is his I'm truly making the full transition into R&B, and he killed it, man. It's really good. So many fantastic songs. Love Diamond Ring. Like that's one of my favorites. Am I Enough? There's so many fantastic tracks. Lady, even getting the live version of Lady on the deluxe version. Yeah, man, it's really good. Russell was in his bag, and loved to see what he could bring with him continuing to master his craft when it comes to his singing. So love that. Moving on to my favorite mainstream R&B album, I'm actually going to give you guys a runner-up this time. This is going to be our first honorable mention that we'll bring up. My honorable mention is While We Wait 2 by Kehlani, because Kehlani just killed it. It felt like good old Kehlani on there, that classic R&B feel, but the one that I put over it was Access All Areas by Flo. They're brand new, act coming out, just like really trying to take the world by storm, and this project really put their name out in a global scale more than just there in the UK. They killed it though. It was great, more Y2K R&B kind of vibes, but still modernized, which I could kind of say that's also what I feel Kehlani does best too. So it was nice, very nice. Love that. Both of them a lot. All right, my favorite independent pop album. My favorite independent pop album happens to be Smile Again, the deluxe version by Kyle. The songs are just fun. The songs are fun. It's great hearing Kyle do his singing, because he's another artist that does a lot of singing and rapping, but this was definitely more on the poppier sound, and he does a fantastic job, and I love it. It's a great listen. But moving on to the mainstream side of pop, on the mainstream side of pop sound, I gotta go with Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet. That was my favorite mainstream pop album. It was just great from beginning to end. So many different little feels and pockets that she just kind of really got to show and shine, and be kind of the big star she kind of became after this dropped. Espresso really like took it to another level after Nonsense kind of like started picking up steam and stuff like that, and Feather, and then all of a sudden we get boom, Short and Sweet, Espresso coming through, just like laying it down. Even Juno having its moment and stuff like that, but for me it's stuff like Bed Kim just making me go yes, and some other tracks that are escaping my mind right now, because this was last year, but my runner-up for this one, I actually did the reverse way of announcing this, but my runner-up for this, I do have to give an honorable mention, is Tori Kelly's album, the deluxe version, Tori and a Little More. Loved this project too. She just it was great hearing her getting more of her pop R&B bag again too, and with that kind of Y2K feel, and with John Bellion producing it. I just loved that. Loved what they were able to bring together. It was phenomenal. All right, so my favorite K-pop album from a group, honorable mention first this time. Honorable mention first is Assemble 24 by Triple S. Freaking love this. This album is truly flawless to me. Like, I can listen to the mug from beginning to end as well. There are a couple of tracks on it that I wouldn't listen to every single time, which is why it ended up being a runner-up, and the one that took its spot happens to be FE 304 Break, the Break version from NMIX. Absolutely love that. And I like NMIX, bro. Like, I mean, Sonyar, goodness gracious, what's the Dash, like, that whole project is just full of really amazing tracks. Like, NMIX in general, like, started being on a roll starting with this project, and I had to give them props for this and make it my favorite K-pop album of 2024. All right, now at the moment that I actually wrote this list, I didn't have a K-pop album from a soloist ready yet, but since I have gotten to listen to it and listen to more stuff from 2024, like I said, I was trying to catch up with stuff. I actually have one that I'll go ahead and mention. I think my favorite K-pop album from a soloist and that came out in 2024 would happen to be Wonder Ego by Crush. Like, from beginning to end, I just was amazed because it was my first like full Crush album to listen to. I feel like I only got to like hear some of the songs from like when he did like Crush Hour and stuff like that, but hearing this album, I was like, oh no, Crush is like actually like that dude. He's killing this junk. So I definitely would think I need to put Wonder Ego as my favorite K-pop album from a soloist. Moving on to my favorite K-pop song. My favorite K-pop song, if you've already watched my top songs of the year, my top K-pop music, video, you would already know my favorite K-pop song of the year was Run by Tri-B. I don't know what happened to them. Did they disband? I haven't seen like that official announcement or anything like that, but Run was so freaking phenomenal when that mug dropped towards the beginning of 2024, and I listened to it the whole year through, and it was always freaking addicted to it. So Run is my favorite K-pop song of the year. All right, moving back to albums. My favorite independent rap album. My favorite independent rap album of the year ended up being Ultra 85 by Logic. I know. It's weird to say that's an independent rap album, but technically he's an independent artist now. So yeah, Ultra 85, I thought he did a fantastic job with it. It definitely brought back a lot of old school Logic vibes to it that didn't feel as corny in a way. And I think the production in it was great, and there's some really, really, really great songs on it. In fact, like Teleport is still in my rotation. Freaking love that track. But yeah, the whole thing is actually a really solid listen, and I continued to listen to it through 2025 as well. But my favorite mainstream rap album would be Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. I mean, another one, amazing from top to bottom. Play that mug and you just end up being like, yo, Tyler is really opening up even more, and really showing how much he can really do musically, and just making you be like, whoa, this guy really should be put up in like one of the top of the rap game right now. And yeah, Chromacopia, phenomenal album. My favorite surprise album, favorite album that just came, like we didn't know when it was gonna drop, or we just didn't know it was gonna drop at all, happens to be GNX. GNX by Kendrick Lamar was a fantastic little surprise. I mean, everybody kind of expected something might drop from K-Dot after all of the beef stuff that ended up happening last year, but the fact that we did just get that drop, like, hey, here it is. It was just like, here's the trailer. Oh wait, no, the album is out now too. And it was fantastic. I was like, yo, GNX is dope. Another one that I'm still listening to this day. All right, Throwback Album. My favorite Throwback Album. Okay, so this is kind of like a song. When I think of a Throwback album, it's like albums that give me kind of an old school feel, and that happens to be Stripped by Queen Herbie. Like, she redid like 4 of her tracks, and it was just delivered in a cool, like almost neo soul kind of way, and I was like amazed, and I still go back to that to this day too. Like, they're so good, even though it's only 4 tracks, they're so freaking dope. Like, I can put those modes on repeat and just zone out for hours. I feel like it's that good. And yeah, Queen Herbie, ugh. Like, ew, Sade in the night. Listening to Sade in the 90s on the stripped album is a godly experience. I'm just saying. All right, my favorite comeback album. So this is like an album from a group that hasn't been around, or an artist that hasn't been around for a while, and then now they're actually back. Not like comebacks in the K-pop sense. So I always have to preface that, since I'm big around K-pop now. So there's two different ways you could think of comebacks. So my honorable mention for this one is actually going to be LL Cool J's The Force. I feel like LL Cool J, dude, he snapped on this album. Like, he really put together some fantastic songs that feel like him, but yet still modernized, and not in a corny way, with him trying to fit in, but it's still of the times. And I think that he did a fantastic job. But the album that actually is gonna be getting the win for me, because The Force is my honorable mention. The winner, though, has to be From Zero, from Linkin Park. From Zero by Linkin Park. Yo, you don't know how excited I was to see Linkin Park was coming back. Yes, I know, it's not going to be the same without Chester, but I just gotta say, they didn't do bad. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. They did great. It felt kind of like old Lincoln and like a new era all at the same time, and I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. It was great experience listening to that album. All right, the next one, Curveball Album. So this is an album that came with a sound that I just did not quite expect to hear, and that happens to be Panameco's Organic 2. Now, I know some people will be like, this isn't that crazy, and I'm like, no. For me, for him to come through with kind of basically a dancehall Afrobeat kind of project, I did not expect that. Like, I know he's done like a bit of rap, a bit of R&B kind of stuff, but this project right here, I did not expect from him at all. I did not expect a full album with this sound, and he freaking killed it. All of it was absolutely wonderful and made me just be like, okay, I need to watch him every single time he drops. Every single time it drops. So yeah, love that. All right, so now to talk about people I kind of wanted to watch, what I wanted people to keep who I wanted people to keep a watch on in 2025, which is ironic to mention now, but to be honest, some of this stuff is kind of nice. All right, so K-pop soloist to watch. My K-pop soloist to watch. The runner-up was Summer Cake. Summer Cake was an artist that I just stumbled upon towards the end of 2024, and I was like, yo, I need to keep my eyes on her, because I think this could be someone that I love in the K-R&B scene. So freaking love her. But the one that got my actual vote, Summer Cake being the honorable mention, the one who actually said, like, if you had to watch one person, I would have said Eve. Eve is the one we needed to watch, and boy, oh boy, I guess you could tell that I was right. This past year, Eve just kept dropping amazing stuff, and she had like a few different moments with a few different songs, and I'm like, yo, go Eve, bro. Eve, man, really carving out her own kind of fan base and notoriety outside of Luna. Like, with her sound, she's really developed into a phenomenal artist. So yeah, that was my K-pop soloist to watch, and now to move on to my K-pop group to watch, which is gonna sound really bad now. It was Kiss of Life. Kiss of Life is who I had to be the group to watch, and it feels bad to have to say it now, but I mean, to be honest, the music has been great. The actions, not so much. Definitely questionable behavior. But the music has been phenomenal. So that's where I'll leave that. The rapper I said to watch, the rapper I said that we need to keep an eye on was Kendrick Lamar. I said we need to keep an eye on this dude because now that he is out independent and on his own, who knows what we're going to end up getting with this dude. We didn't end up getting like more music, really. We just got to see him kind of coast on Not Like Us with award season early in the year, and then go on his tour for the GNX alongside SZA and everything. But either way, Kendrick, you could always keep an eye out for whatever Kendrick is going to do, whether it's any features or anything like that. That's going to be phenomenal. The singer that I had to watch, the singer that I put for us to watch in 2025, was supposed to be Sabrina Carpenter, and I gotta say, she did kind of like have an okay start. She had an okay start, coming through with Man Child, and the album dropped, and I do feel like the follow-up album was a little bit lacking. It was cool to see her explore more of the sound that kind of got big with like Please Please Please, kind of more with the country kind of vibe. Sabrina had an okay start to the year, and she got to go on tour and everything like that, so I'm sure things went well with that. And I definitely have to try and catch her sometime. But moving on to the K-pop rookies to watch. I had actually two runner-ups, and then I gave one actual winner. So for my two runner-ups, because I couldn't allow myself to pick one, my first runner-up was Young Posse, because I thought like they were having a great year in 2024. They've been really fun, coming through with all of their stuff, from the mac and cheese to double XL, and ate that, and everything like that. I was like, yo, Young Posse, bro, Young Posse. And then Bad Villain, dude, I thought was gonna be so dope. I mean, they had Zoom, and they even had everything with their debut, from the Bad Villain song, the Hurricane song, plus 82, that little intro kind of track, Yahoo, Batitude, like all of it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna love what they do. And they did some more good stuff this year too. But the group that I said was the most deserving one to keep an eye on was Racine, dude. They're so good, and they've continued to be good. So I'm happy that I called it with this one. I feel like was a good one to call, to continue to watch them. Like, even though they still haven't quite made huge waves, they have continued to bring quality with each release. So I'm very happy with me calling out, keeping an eye on Racine. All right, now moving on to my favorite K-pop debut album. My K-pop debut album was Overstep by Bad Villain. I already got to mention how each of those songs were great and made them part of my my honorable mentions for rookies to watch, but I absolutely loved each of the tracks that they had with Bad Villain's debut album. I definitely had to say this was my favorite debut of 2024 in K-pop. My favorite debut album, even though technically it's a mixtape in the US, happens to be Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. This project, bro, was so freaking dope too. Like, it had so many dope songs, bangers, thinkers, vibers, all of them, dude. Like, and happy I got to see her on tour. I got to see her tour this album. So that was really great. She's a phenomenal performer. She showed up and showed out that year. And I mean, hey, even the Grammys said this needs to be, rap album winner of the year, even though technically it's not an album. But anyway, now to get to our big boys, our big boys. All right, song of the year. My song of the year. I have a runner-up and I have an actual winner. So my runner-up for song of the year happens to be EXO Call Me by Beecha. Yeah, I know, right? You didn't think you were gonna hear that name, huh? But yes, EXO Call Me by Beecha is my runner-up for song of the year. I heard that mug at the beginning of 2024 and listened to it all throughout the year. Very similar to Run, and I absolutely loved every single second of it. So it's kind of crazy that towards the end of 2025 we have a full-on rebrand for Beecha, and it's a totally slightly different lineup, I guess I should say, with 2 members gone and a change in sound. But I wouldn't say that EXO Call Me is too far off from where they've, pivoted to. So I'm pleased with that. Anyway, song of the year though. Song of the year definitely had to be Not Like Us, bro. It had to be Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, dude. It was everywhere. The mug dropped. The mug dropped right in during May, and it was going through the whole year. There are so many big, huge cultural moments with Not Like Us throughout the year, and then it ended up sweeping the Grammys and the going through at the Super Bowl this year and everything. But yeah, everything that had to do with the beef and it ending with Not Like Us as like the nail in the coffin, bro. It was bro, no, actually, it wasn't the nail in the coffin. It was Dancing on the Grave. It was Dancing on the Grave. The nail was already in the coffin. Not Like Us was Dancing in the Grave. Dancing on the Grave, for real. But Not Like Us definitely was Song of the Year, and it still goes off. That's the thing that's crazy. Even in 2025, ended up having that play at a party recently, and it still went off like with everybody singing along. It's a fantastic song. All right, now for album of the year. My favorite album of the year being 2024, that is. My runner-up happened to be Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. That was my favorite song. I mean, my second favorite album of the year. Yeah, I know. It was that good. Like, it was pop perfection to me, truly. But there was one album that stuck out above that, and to me, that had to be Chromacopia. Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator, was just a great experience from top to bottom that I could not escape from it, and I loved being able to continue to listen to it throughout this year too, throughout 2025. So Chromacopia was just so dope, so dope. Like, that's my album of 2024. All right, and then the way I always like to try and end this, even though it's less important to everybody else, I always try to mention what my favorite song by myself that came out that year was. And for 2024, since the full album basically kind of dropped at the beginning of the year, I just considered Me, Myself, and I as my runner-up from favorite song by myself, and my favorite absolute favorite one had to be Drown, both from the People's Mixtape Volume 3 comeback. That was my favorite track that I got to release that year. Drown is just it's one of them ones that when you hear it, you're like, dang, that's you did that. Oh my gosh, that sounds good. Like, I feel like I get those kind of reactions when I show people this one. They're like, oh yeah. And it does make me go like, dang, maybe I do need to sing a bit more. The funny thing about it is, like, Drown and Me, Myself, and I are definitely way more vocal heavy than my usual tracks. I'm definitely, like, the singing is definitely in the forefront of those tracks rather than the rapping, even though there is a little bit of rap in both of them, but it's not the main thing. So I think that's kind of interesting that those happen to be my favorite tracks that I wrote last year or released last year. But yeah, that is going to be my musical favorites, my musical notables of 2024. I know it's still weird to put it out at the very end of 2025, but hey, at least it came out. Tell me what you guys thought of some of these projects. I'd love to hear your opinions. If you still remember, kind of what your thoughts were back then. It was a year ago, almost. Yeah, a year ago. I'll just stick with that. It sounds less bad if I just keep it at saying a year ago. Yeah. Tell me what you guys liked, and yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Till next time, y'all. Much love, peace, threes.